Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who's made it back from injury, 35 years of age now, Alex Smith.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
And from the 25, they worked this to the 29, a gain of 4. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Let's just go ahead and state the obvious. Safety Derwin James is one of the better players in the NFL. First team All-Pro as a rookie. Also went to the Pro Bowl. And he shows up anywhere and everywhere on the field making plays.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And going deep for Hill. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They'll get 34 yards there. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Smith now to throw. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Zadarius Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Smith hands off to Geis. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jarvis Landry with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They will be led out by their veteran quarterback now in his 16th season from NC State, Phillip Rivers.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's the offense, and you got to talk about the guy that they nicknamed Bebe, Charles Demarius Thomas.
You worry about him catching the ball, but you worry more about what he does after the catch. Big, strong, physical. He makes plays downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mixon with a first down carry. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Set. We're okay. We're okay. Black 11. Don't say nothing.
Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And now it's third down. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
On third down, Rivers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
I'm well aware this is not basketball, but this feels like full court pressure. Never getting out of that the entire time. Just stay on top of them. With that lead, go ahead and fake it and continue to try and build on it.
Yeah, first half, as you said, you've got that lead, but they want a bigger cushion here. They're hitting the gas pedal hard. Smith on first down, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away. Now a run with Geis. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Throwing on third down, Smith.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now it's the former Texan. This is Alfred Blue trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun, Smith. And it's caught. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Rivers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Ready, go.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Geis. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Going deep here for Landry. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Smith. Gets this one to Hill. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Pryor has it complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 2nd and 11 now. Smith. And his throw is incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing again is Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Darren Lee coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing, Rivers. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Joe Mixon. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. To throw on 3rd down. Rivers, he'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The Broncos on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Smith. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. On second down, Mixon, and he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Rivers now. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the gun to give to Mixon. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Throwing Rivers. And the ball is knocked out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Smith. A dump off to Vereen. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Smith. Pass incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Here we go.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is Mixon on the draw. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Rivers. And got a man. It's Woods. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Alex Smith in the offense heading out for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card.
A 60-yard attempt.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll run with Geis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about two-thirds complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Once again, they run with Mixon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play fake, Rivers. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the second time. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Now a draw play, Vereen. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. Third and long, it's Smith. And he's got his man on the comebacker. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Let's go now. 60 or. Yo.
Out of the gun, Geis. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Smith. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Geis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. Completes it to Vereen. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Denver has the 1st down, the play going for 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On the set. 59, 59. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
This is Geis. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
60 Pittsburgh.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the 1st half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the 1st target of the 2nd half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Smith's pass intended for
Come on, set. 60 outlaw.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. Smith now to throw. And that's going to be intercepted. It's the all-pro safety, Derwin James.
Let's go. Intercept, baby. All day.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run here with Mixon. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Rivers. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. And he's taken down inside the 30. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Mixon with it. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Rivers. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. LaShawn McCoy, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a LaShawn McCoy touchdown run. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the ground, it's Geis. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off of play action, here's Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by Derwin James. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now Brown. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they have gone to the 2nd half in Carolina. And the Panthers have scored to extend their lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon, and he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Black 11! White 89!
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing, Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Hayward make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Looking long for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and that'll bring up second down. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Pryor has it complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth.
18 Gator.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Spinning away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Minnesota, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Rivers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Throwing Rivers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
Ready! 190.
Rivers now from the 50. Then he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rivers again. And that'll be incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the legs still there. This has been a tough game. Rivers on the money, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Black 11!
3 bud.
First down, Rivers. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hawkinson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT. And he'll get in! Touchdown, Minnesota! LaShawn McCoy with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a LaShawn McCoy touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now Smith. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
From the 38, Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Darren Lee able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Rivers. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. And you got caught in between and created a foul.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. Marr able to put this one through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So the Broncos now down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. On 3rd down, Mixon. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Vikings, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.